Hey everybody, welcome to the final episode of Writer Club Radio. This is it.
Welcome.
This was a podcast where we watched Kamen Rider every month, and Geo specifically, since we started and talked about it. But this show has defeated us,
Yes.
I think.
We aren't as strong as we thought we were.
By the time you hear this, we will all be dead. Spread our message.
Geo
This is a
definitely
suicide
killed
pact.
us.
So-
In the future.
I would like to say my name is Jeff real quick, since we didn't do that.
Yes, my name is Liam.
Max.
Tomas.
And this podcast is gone, but hopefully not forgotten. We've talked about doing some commentary tracks still in the future. Podcast might come back someday. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, don't hold your breath on it. Nothing is set in stone, but for now we're just giving it the old axe. We're giving it the old purple dinosaur Putotira axe.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with Purple Space
signal
Bazooka.
axe.
We're gonna give it the old purple space bazooka.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in, who enjoyed the podcast, who sort of like told people about it and sort of spread the word and everything. We appreciate it.
Yeah, if you listened, if you retweeted, if you pestered a friend to come and listen, thanks. If this is your first episode listening, I'm really sorry. Today for
I'd like to thank Jeff and Liam for starting the dang old thing.
Oh, thank you for being on it.
Thank Max and Tomas for joining.
I would like to thank Liam for doing all of the hard work, summarizing all the episodes, especially Gio, because I don't want to take notes watching that show.
I agree, and I also want to thank Liam for editing like every episode.
Thank you.
What a hero!
Yes, he makes all the sausage.
Hello.
I'm the sausage maker.
Again,
I'd like to
thank you. Oh, go ahead.
I'd like to thank Jeff for doing the lovely, lovely art every month.
Oh, thank you. I'll probably still make those, just not with Geo characters, just for fun.
Cut that. Maybe maybe we can keep the Twitter, because I'm going to keep watching Geo. I'm probably going to watch Ryu Soldier. Maybe I'll use that as a little platform to shout my stupid opinions at people.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll definitely watch it too. So
Keep the fucking Twitter.
Yeah.
We'll use the Twitter.
Everybody's already unfollowed.
Yep. Well,
They're all
and-
like, fucking shut this down.
Get
see you later,
Unfollow.
guys. I'm going. Bye.
Bye, Max.
Oh no, I didn't get to say bye.
He's
Bye.
out.
He
Everyone,
sounds
I
so
hope
far
you had your
away.
fill.
And like Jeff said, this doesn't necessarily mean, or I don't remember if Jeff or Liam, we were all talking about this before we started, but we might do some more with this podcast later. It's just, we don't want to talk about Geo. We've said so much about how we're not enjoying it to the point where it's like, we don't want to sit through it anymore. Jeff was fast forwarding through the past 4 episodes. Max was making
Don't
jokes.
tell them.
Max was making jokes about, hey, maybe I can do that thing Jeff did and just not watch these episodes this week.
just bluff your way through it. It's easy.
Well, we always have the option of the next podcast, Deekheads, where we watch all the programs produced by the Deke Corporation.
Oh my god, they're all so terrible too. Is the best thing.
Don't talk shit about Inspector Gadget.
That's true. Inspector Gadget. They sent that shit overseas though. They were like, make it good, French. Speaking of not wanting to talk about Kamen Rider Geo anymore, let's talk about Kamen Rider Geo.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This month we watched episodes 21, 22, 23, and 24, and thank fucking God we're done with this.
There is
I'm gonna
one
keep watching.
shining light somewhere in these
There
turds.
was some.
Shinji was in some of them. That's
I'm
pretty
gonna
good.
I'm gonna need you to point that shining light out for me, Max.
I did like the Kamen Rider Stronger throwbacks with Kamen Rider Kikai.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
He feels like a Showa rider with like his outfit and all the kids that he's friends with.
Yeah, they even point that out, like, Sogo points that out, where he says, this is 100 years in the future, it seems really retro.
Yeah.
He's got a sick-ass denim jacket.
I genuinely enjoyed the bits with Shinji and the head of Ore Journal Like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah, those were good.
reconnecting.
I wasn't really expecting them to do much with Ryuki, but they actually crafted a little storyline for them, and I liked it. It was a lot of fun.
Was that the name of the news site?
Yeah,
Ore
Ore
Journal. Yep.
Like Ore.
My journal.
It's my journal.
Because like
my
my
live
journal.
journal.
because like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
viewers send in the tips, so it's like your journal.
It's my space.
Yeah. They
Oh.
they send in the tips.
That's
and
what
at
tanked
some
them.
point. At some point, the people sending in the tips were like, "Wait, I can just post this myself."
Yeah, I have Twitter.
I apparently couldn't do that before, but I can do it now.
Social media killed Ore Journal.
Shinji's on my top 8.
When you join MySpace in Japan, Shinji becomes your first friend. It's not fun. Liam, why don't you tell us what happened in Kamen Rider Geo episode 21?
Okay.
I'm just thinking about that stupid face that I used for Shinji for a long time on like Skype. You know,
Oh,
the one
yeah.
where he's looking back over his shoulder inside the cafe.
with the teeth. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's from the last episode, isn't it? Or no, it's from
No,
the
it's
episode when
it's
Knight
like
sits down.
episode 8 or 9.
Yeah, Knight sits down and orders something, and he turns around. And he's like, "Fuck yeah!" with that face. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways, okay, so episode 21, our favorite time jacker throws a rock at a mirror 10,000 times until he breaks into the mirror world and finds Mirror Shinji, and he uses Mirror Shinji, turns him into another Ryuga.
It's a lot of bad luck
And
if you
that's-
think about it.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
7,000 years total.
yeah.
That's
that
enough,
must
that's
be
enough
why
bad
what-
luck.
Actually, that comes back to bite him. That
Yeah.
bad luck in the next episode.
Well, next arc, but yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so much bad luck that you'd think they would make the time jackers constantly fail forever and never be threatening villains. That's
It's retroactive.
crazy. Yeah. So it sort of skips forward, and you have another Ryuga, and he's fighting Gates and Sogo, and they can't beat him because any attack they hit him with, he like reflects back. It hits him and he takes the damage, but then he like throws it back out of a mirror shard in the air. So they can't beat him, and he runs away. And they're like, "What do we do?"
Yeah, he says, "What do we do?" And we as an audience get to hear them talk about like how impossible this is. We can't just attack him because it'll come back and kill us. Whatever power we use will just be reflected. And you're like, "Wow, they're really gonna have to come up with something smart to beat this guy."
Keep watching to see what his brilliant plan is. So they investigate all the victims, and all the victims, it turns out, like 15 years ago, used to follow Ore Journal. Not sure how they found that out about them, but Sogo tracks down the former editor-in-chief. They got the actor back who played the editor-in-chief of Ore Journal, and he says, "Yeah, Ore Journal, like, you know, it was really cool, but like, you know, Twitter killed it. Facebook killed it. Everybody can just post stuff themselves. Like, the viewers don't have to send tips in anymore. But I had this really great reporter called Shinji. So go talk to Shinji. He'll tell you
Was
more."
he really all that great?
Apparently, he's the only
He
employee.
got better. Also, keep in mind in this timeline, Ryuki never happened.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he should have stayed shitty, shouldn't he?
Maybe he
Like,
grew
he-
into a great reporter.
Yeah.
on his
Maybe
own.
because he became better at his job as time went along because of the lessons he learned being Ryuki.
Maybe he
So
learned
he should have just
lessons.
stayed real bad.
Maybe he learned lessons in his daily life.
You can't do that.
You can, I've never done that yet. So he goes to meet Shinji. He goes to Shinji's apartment, and Shinji's apartment, like all the mirrors and windows and shit, everything with a reflective surface, is all newspapered up because I guess he's getting harassed by another Ryuga, and I guess he's been recently harassed by another Ryuga because he's just unconscious on the floor. And they take him to the hospital, and they go back to the pit to be like, "All right, what do we do? Like, our one lead is dead in the hospital." And they check the camera footage. They check some camera footage, and it shows Ryuga like traveling through mirrors and like reflective surfaces. He comes out of like some mirrors, and he goes into a car, and the effect is fucking terrible. And Gates,
I love the GIF you made of it. The zoom in of him coming out of the mirror.
And
I
they,
saw
they
that and I
brought
was like-
back that terrible noise.
yeah, oh that loud ass like high pitched shit. I was gonna compare it to the effect from the original Ryuki, but going back and looking at the footage of the original Ryuki, they do so much to hide it. Like they'll have the mirror be off camera as they
yeah.
walk into it, or they'll have them be
They just walk
they'll use-
off screen and they're in the mirror.
yeah, they'll use like perspective so it looks like they're walking into the mirror, but they're walking behind it
yeah.
or something. And
Or
I
they-
realized like
They use a very small flip transition on a mesh
Yeah.
of just their body flipping into the mirror.
Great. I love that shit. But now, like, I realize, like, that's why they did all that trickery, because this is the effect if you just show it straight up. It looks
this is
awful.
the effect, like, 10 years later, if you
Yeah.
show.
No excuses, guys.
It's quite possible they wanted to make it as shitty as possible because they
That's-
just wanted it to be authentic.
That's the secret of Geo. They're trying to make
shitty
it
on
as shitty as
purpose.
possible.
Yeah, they started out with this idea. Let's make a shitty rider.
Wow, yeah. We've never done
They
that before.
trained
What a
him
novel
wrong
idea.
as a joke.
Yeah, so they realize, he goes through mirrors. Gates has a brilliant plan where he's like, I'm going to hit him with an attack so good that it'll kill him. And Tsukiyomi's like, but it'll reflect and kill you. And Gates is like, I don't give a shit. Meanwhile, Sogo's uncle, he hands him, remember in the end of the last episode 20, it was so long ago, he gets the Super Geo watch from
Yeah.
Woes. So he gives it to Sogo. He's like, I couldn't figure heads or tails of this watch. It's clearly a watch.
Yeah. It definitely tells time.
Definitely a normal watch. And he gives it to Sogo. And he gets like the super... It's like half of the Super Geo watch. The Geo 2 watch.
The sequel to Geo already.
Yeah, the sequel to... We're already in Geo RX. Whoa.
That's why it's terrible.
Yeah. Oh.
It's gonna kill it for 10 years.
Maybe it's not
like
just this podcast that's ending, huh?
Oh my god. The cycle.
This is ending all of Heisei Kamen Rider.
This is it. They're like, well, we can't have Heisei Riders anymore because the Emperor's gone, so sorry. So Woes appears, and he says, hey, Sogo, like, Shinji was Ryuki, but he doesn't remember he's Ryuki, but not because of the usual watch fuckery. It's a long story I'm not going to explain. Go watch Ryuki. And White Woes tells Gates, he's like, oh, I have a way to defeat another Ryuga. You don't have to kill yourself. We'll just kill Shinji as he's coming out of the hospital. Because if we kill Shinji, then Mirror Shinji will die, and thus Ryuga will die. So Gates stops him. He says, no. He has like a second of hesitation where he's like, yeah, let's fucking kill this dude.
Yeah,
but then
this
he's like,
plan is like entirely based on like arbitrary like guessing. Like if we kill him, his reflection in the mirror dimension also dies, I guess.
probably.
You can't have a reflection of a ghost. Because I understand this universe.
Yeah. Vampires, ghosts, Frankensteins all can't be seen in mirrors. So
Frankenstein?
Ironically, Blackulas can still be seen in mirrors.
Blackulas are the exception.
Oh, it's because by the point Blackula came around, mirrors were no longer silver-backed.
Oh, that makes sense.
Is
Genius.
that real? Is that a real thing?
Yes, the reason that vampires couldn't be seen in mirrors is because mirrors were silver-backed
Oh.
glass.
Oh,
Well,
Holy
I learned
shit.
something new
Something new
today.
every
on.
day.
With the real knowledge on this
I
episode.
thought it was because
Who
they
needs
didn't
university
have
when you
souls
got
or
Rider
something.
Club Radio?
Yeah.
Now it's the silver.
Oh.
Okay. So they Gates stops him. He says, "Look, actually, I don't want to kill Shinji. That's wrong." So they have a fight. Shinji escapes. Another Ryuga. Oh god.
Get it out.
Oh, kill me.
Yeah, don't edit that.
Another Ryuga appears. He like gets between them and irritates them. And also appears. And he says, "Hey, there's no way to make a watch because mirrors, 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 time travel. Go fuck yourself." And he appears. And he disappears. And then
That was a very good summation.
Gates almost enacts his plan. He's like, it's finally time to kill myself by kicking Ryuga so hard. And he's about to do it, and Sogo like tackles him in midair. And he's like, listen, Gates, you don't have to do it. I have a new watch. It'll work because Woes told me it'll work. And it doesn't work because it's only half the watch. So Ryuga escapes, even though he's got them on the ropes. And Sogo chases him into the mirror world, where he meets evil Sogo. And that's the end of episode 21. What did you guys think of episode 21?
My favorite part of episode 21 is where Mirror Sogo's suit and transformation pose and letters and everything were reversed, and that's about it.
Was Shinji in this episode? Like, did they find him? Oh.
Yeah.
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 Were you not?
I thought.
I was just.
No, I kind of zoned out a little bit, but
Okay. I don't blame you.
I was thinking about the part that I'm about to mention, where they like go into his apartment and they're like, "Oh no, it might be carbon monoxide," and they just cover their noses. Like that's gonna fucking help. Well, let's put my shirt over my nose to protect myself from carbon monoxide.
Isn't that why they started uncovering the windows, though?
Yeah.
Maybe.
They don't open them. They just uncover them.
You have to pee into your shirt and put it on. That's how you stop it.
It's the ultimate filter, the shirt.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yes, lots of experience.
We just pee on our shirts and put them on our mouths for fun, right, guys?
Yeah.
Right, everybody?
Everybody does that.
The only thing I know about peeing on shirts is wet shirt bend bar.
What?
Is that a reference?
From
Am I gonna have to go to the
Noon?
hospital because of this deep fucking laceration you're giving me?
Shanghai Noon. There's a movie I haven't thought about in 28 years.
It's weird. I had a conversation the other day with a guy who was like, "Yeah, Shanghai Noon was the best like buddy comedy with Jackie Chan," and I was like, "Motherfucker, have you not seen Rush Hour?"
Rush Hour was much
I
better.
don't like either of those movies.
However, it kept Owen Wilson out of unfortunate
Oh,
circumstances.
I was gonna
so-
say drugs.
Getting his
off of the
nose
heroin
No, he
broken
was
again.
he was really
2 more
depressed
months.
and wasn't getting work.
Wow.
And bad things.
Who'd have thought that? Wow, I never knew that.
Wow.
Shit. I like the one thing that I had questions about is that there's an evil Shinji in the mirror world, and there's an evil Sogo in the mirror world. But
Right.
is that it? Does no one else have an evil mirror version? It seems completely uninhabited, the mirror world.
They keep calling it the Lost Mirror World that was like lost or destroyed in the past, but yet Mirror Sogo exists.
I think Mirror Sogo appears because Sogo was sent into the Mirror universe, and then Ryuga is still there because
Maybe
who knows?
Don't make
hanging out.
excuses for
maybe
this
he's
show.
the king of the mirror universe.
Well, it's like in
I
Ryuki, nobody lives in the mirror world except for monsters.
Yeah.
But then in this show,
Ryuga was like a movie thing.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
Yeah,
He
was a
lived
movie
in the mirror universe. He was the last human or whatever.
it was some shit. It was some stupid bullshit. So I guess I can accept Ryuga if they just had Ryuga. But Sogo goes in and he's just got an evil version. And all I was thinking is like, what if they went in and it was a mirror Earth where everyone was just an asshole? I would watch that.
Except assholes who are like real cool.
Except yeah, cool, like they all wear leather jackets and stuff.
Sunglasses.
Yeah.
Hideki Kamiya doesn't immediately block you on Twitter.
he follows you on Twitter.
It's really
Oh my
funny
God.
that like I grew up reading like the Archie Sonic comic because what the fuck was I gonna do? I lived in West Virginia. So there was an actual mirror universe that like everyone was like a badass and they all wore leather jackets and had sunglasses and
They all
shit.
had beards, yeah.
I remember in one of those comics, Sonic found a magic like raincoat and then he put it on and got transported into some noir world.
Oh, I don't doubt that shit at all.
Those comics are fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
Well,
else can
anyway.
you say?
This episode of Geo, like Shinji coming back is kind of fun, although he doesn't do much in this episode. He just kind of passes out from carbon monoxide poisoning and goes to the hospital.
Yeah.
And then he
Happens
runs
to the best
away
of
real
us.
scared.
He's afraid of his own reflection.
It's very accurate.
I was excited about Shinji coming back. I was really upset that he plays kind of a hapless dumbass for the 2 episodes.
Well, I mean, he also plays Ryuga. So.
He also plays Ryuga. I remember in the next episode preview, in episode 20, they have that one line. There was this reporter, Shinji Kido, and it shows Shinji standing with like a devious smile on his face. And it got me excited because I was like, oh, Shinji's going to come back and he's going to have some kind of plan. He's going to be a clever guy who's got a plan, and he's got a devious smile. But then that just turned out to be evil Shinji. And real Shinji was just some kind of dude who collapsed from Sogo poisoning.
Do you not remember Shinji? Shinji
I don't know.
never had
I
a
figured
plan.
maybe I like the idea of like the years have wizened him, and he's like he's like
okay.
cooler now. Like I don't know. I thought they would do something like that with him. Like he's a little less of a like I know Shinji's a dumbass.
He's
in
not a
Ryuki.
dumbass.
No amount of
in
time
this.
would make that man cool.
Like, he's not a dumbass in this, is the thing. He's just, like, a regular guy. He's just
Yeah.
afraid of the things around him.
He's just scared of a Kamen Rider coming through the mirror and slicing him with a sword, which I guess is understandable.
I would be afraid of that.
I'd also be scared. Yeah, I'd paper up my whole apartment too.
That's why I don't have
So.
mirrors in my house.
Yeah, that's why.
At least not silver-backed mirrors, right?
Heyo.
Sure.
You vampiric fuck.
I am not confirming
The only
or denying.
silverback thing Max likes is a gorilla.
Yeah, this episode was mostly like sucky, but like the thing that sucks is because of the next episode, where like we get this whole idea that there's going to be something deeper to this to defeat this one. Like this guy's got a power we can't get around. We're going to have to use the old noggin to beat this guy, but really you just hit him harder.
Yeah,
Punch him harder and you win.
What Ryder does a lot is they'll say, "Oh, this guy's got a power that we can't beat," but they'll have an upgrade that's like kind of tailored for it. Like, "Oh, we got to be faster, so we'll have this like speed upgrade or whatever."
Sure,
which
they
is
didn't
kind of
do that, though.
It's kind of an ass pull, but like I can accept it.
Yeah.
But like this one is just like I gotta watch that's better. Fuck you. I can turn back time if things don't go my way.
I'm real strong now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so strong that your mirror thing doesn't work for some reason. Even though, like, our finishers...
You punch so hard, you break the reflector.
Yeah. Fuck
like,
you.
our finishers can be reflected against this, which are supposed to be, like, atomic bomb drops or whatever. But, like, my regular punches in this form aren't reflected because fuck you by the toys.
Because Gates said so, that's why.
Yeah. I bet if you looked on the Kamen Rider wiki, because it's always like power creep with every new rider. I bet if you looked on the Kamen Rider wiki, it would be like, oh, like Sogo's big time break finish, power of 1,200 atomic bombs or something. Like, it would actually have like 1,600 megatons per square inch.
Oh, yeah.
Or some shit.
Could literally obliterate the planet Earth with his kick.
It's always like that. They're never actually that strong, but they just like to raise the numbers to make you think that
No.
it's the strongest rider
He
ever.
can leap 700 meters, but not in the show.
Yeah. He'll
Yeah.
never do it, but he can, just in case.
That always drives me nuts because they're like, oh, he's like unbelievably powerful in his stats or whatever, but then like the monsters that he has trouble fighting when he's transformed, like punch him in the face when he's normal. And he's just like, and kind of
Yeah.
like moves to the side a little bit.
It should liquefy your head.
Yeah, it should knock your head, punch your head directly off your fucking body.
Oh, whale.
One clean chunk.
It's like this show sucks or something.
Yeah, it's almost like none of this matters. Buy the toys.
None of this, yeah. Go to your local Toys R Us, Toys R or A, and buy the
Toys R Us.
Whatever they have in Japan, I don't know.
Yodobashi camera.
Yorubashi camera, sure.
What?
Is that the name of the camera
Yodobashi
shop from
camera.
the show?
No, it's the name of an actual store that I went to in Akihabara. That's like a 7-story department store, and they sell toys and cameras and electronics and
I've
stuff.
always wanted to go to one of those high-rise department stores. They look really fun.
It was pretty
Yeah.
cool. I bought some Kamen Rider stuff there. Bought my double belt.
That's sick.
Yeah, well, I tried dragon fruit the other day. It was pretty good.
Yeah, you liked it.
What does it taste like? Dragons?
It doesn't have a whole lot of flavor, actually. It reminds me of a pear, but with, like, less flavor.
I hear it's kind of watery, yeah.
Oh,
It is
that's kind of
watery.
disappointing.
It also looks kind of weird on the inside.
Yeah, it looks like Oreo ice cream on the inside, which got
I'm
me
sold.
real fucking psyched.
I'm
but
fucking
it doesn't
sold.
taste anything like that.
I'm unsold. It,
I was
it
like,
looks,
oh shit, this is gonna be good. And then
Fuck
I took
yeah.
a bite and I was like, oh, it's
How-
alright.
How do you eat it? Do you have to, like, peel it?
You cut it in half and you just scoop out bites on a spoon.
I can
or you
dig
can
that.
like just scoop all of it out if you want to use it for
Oh,
something.
okay.
I want to try it now.
And
Shit.
the skin on the inside is actually, if you eat enough of it, it's poisonous.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
So you have to be really careful when you're spooning out the inside of it. And I was like, this is not worth it.
so what do you just buy this shit at the grocery store? Like, don't eat the wrong part or you'll die. Like,
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you have to eat a lot of it. But
Okay.
you'll get sick if you
Okay.
eat, like, a bunch of the inside skin.
okay,
It's not dead poisonous.
okay. That's where my brain always goes when it comes to poisonous.
Yeah, I can see that. I probably should have worded that a little bit
It's
better.
you made it sound like that
It'll
Simpsons
kill
episode.
you.
Remember that Simpsons episode where he eats the pufferfish and like if they don't cut it fucking perfectly, you just
Oh, yeah,
die?
that's real.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fugu.
Definitely.
That's real.
Are we done talking about episode 21? And
Yeah,
shit?
let's go on
Fugu.
talking about produce and
Let's just keep talking. Yeah, what are you guys' favorite fruits?
You guys ever had like plantain chips? Those
Oh,
are
Oh yeah,
love
plantain
plantain
chips
chips.
are
Those are the
great.
shits.
Fucking, I love plantain and like anything. So
Yeah.
fucking
some
good.
maduros.
Oh yeah.
I'm just a fan
Oh,
of bananas
yeah.
in general.
What was that?
Oh nothing.
Oh,
Pay no mind.
Yeah, let's move on to Kamen Rider Geo episode 22.
Okay. So, he's in the mirror world. He's like talking to Mirror Sogo. He just got smacked by Mirror Sogo, and Mirror Sogo is taunting him like, "Aha! I'm the darkness inside of you. You're evil just like me deep down, and you're gonna be Oma Geo." And Gates goes back, and he's really guilty because he considered killing Shinji for 2 seconds, and he feels like he's a monster now.
well, I guess I'm a monster because I think about killing people all the time.
Hey, me too, buddy.
I don't think about killing people all the time.
Nope.
No, you don't. Are
I
you
mean,
sure?
Yeah, that's messed up.
I mean, I do now.
So here's like Gates is hanging out and at the pit, and here's my favorite scene because like it stops like mid scene between Sogo and Mirror Sogo, and then it cuts away, and then in the pit, just Sogo just flies through a mirror and like I got away off screen. Don't ask. I just got
How
away.
did you get out? It doesn't matter.
Fuck you. I escaped and ran away, and I'm here now. And
Uncle Clocks.
Uncle Clocks is there, and I don't. he
Uncle
doesn't.
Clocks never says anything important. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
he's not in my notes because he doesn't fucking say anything.
No, because he fell through the mirror into the watch
Oh,
shop.
yeah.
He's like, where did you come from?
Holy shit! My nephew just came through a mirror. Oh well, and just walks
I guess
off.
I've been
He
working
just
too
fucking
hard.
brushes it off.
I better go lay
then he-
down.
Oh, must
He
be
pulls
getting
his
tired.
flask out of his
Oh.
pocket and pours it out, and it's like, well,
The '60s were fun, but now I'm paying for them. So yeah, Sogo's there. Fucking Gates fights White Woes. No, sorry,
So
Gates.
there's fucking Gates?
Gates and White Woes fight the Rider to no avail, and Sogo meets with Shinji, and Shinji says, "Oh man, they're at the hospital." And Shinji's like, "Oh, there's this dark me running around, but I think he's a part of me. Like that's I'm fine with having like a bad side deep down. I think everyone has it." And Sogo's like, "Damn, that's deep. I'm gonna go do the same thing. It should work." So Sogo goes outside and talks to his own reflection, and again accepts him, and his reflection has the other half of the Super Watch because he just has it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
So what
Because
the
it's,
fuck
it's
did
the
Woes
Mirror
think?
World Sogo that has the opposite one, I
I
guess.
get. Yeah, that's
So
steaming.
what the fuck did Woes think was gonna happen when he gave him the fucking half watch? He was like, "Here, use it to become the Overlord," and it just doesn't work. Where's he gonna get the
Well,
rest
he
of it?
probably-
Woes.
He probably didn't know that was incomplete. He just knew that was what the Omagio used to become Omagio.
So nobody in
And he
this
was
show
right.
knows what they're doing.
No, Woes.
No.
Woes reads in the book that Mirror Shinji, Mirror Sogo meets Sogo and gives him the other half of the watch, as it is written in this book. Average high schooler, Tenkuji Takeru, who was killed by Kamen on his 18th birthday, will meet his mirror self. I don't fucking know. I don't know what his plan was.
It doesn't matter because he gets both pieces that he turns into Geo 2, the most creatively named and themed upgrade form in Rider history. He's
Geo
2
2.
Geos.
It's his form.
At least it doesn't have huge pauldrons.
I guess
true.
not, but it's his base form, but twice.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
it's
And
It's not even like a type wild. It's just like type speed plus. If speed looked like shit.
Type Speed 2.
yeah.
Electric
I was gonna
Blue
say,
Blue.
better not say type speed looks like shit, or else I'll come over there.
Type speed is
No,
fucking
no,
immaculate.
God no.
Type Speed's fucking phenomenal. So yeah, Gates dies fighting. He enacts his genius plan, which doesn't fucking work, and he dies. And Sogo's new watch lets him turn back time to avoid any meaningful character development or plot.
Yeah, which is also not a mid-season upgrade power.
No.
That's like a fucking final form power.
That's something that like at the end of the show everyone dies, and then he struggles really hard to turn back time to give him one more chance once. You don't.
But he can just do it every episode. He did it twice in one episode.
Yeah, what the fuck? He's like, oh, things.
They don't have any restraint. They just don't give a shit. They're like, fuck it. He's a time overlord. He just do whatever the fuck it. Just do it.
Does this get around the book? Is my question. Can he go back and undo the book?
I don't know.
That writes. If someone
Why
writes.
Why doesn't anybody just grab the book from White Wose's spindly ass little hands and throw it in the river? Like, what the fuck?
It's a cheap plastic toy. Just snap it over your knee.
Yeah. Just be like, there, go get it at the bottom of the river, Wose, you fucking bitch. What are you going to do about it?
Throw it into the Tokyo Bay with the 3 Toei producers.
What?
They got concrete shoes or something?
They got that. Yeah. Did you guys not see that the last .5 episode where they talk about the movie producers being thrown into Tokyo
No.
Bay because they were
Oh,
so
yeah. Oh, yeah.
shit? Yeah.
Well, all right.
Those halcyon days of the .5s.
Yep.
Yeah.
The halcyon days of the only good thing that Geo had. Yeah. So he turns back time. He kicks Ryuga's ass because, like Jeff said, his power is that he can just punch really hard and just
His
beat
power
you.
is ultimate.
His power. His power.
He's
is
literally
maximum.
like, oh, they just barely touch on it, too. They're like, oh, he defeated him. He was too strong for his powers to be reflected.
Well, yeah. Like,
Wow, I
what does
didn't know
that-
there was a fucking limit.
What does that mean?
Oh.
Like,
He broke his Smash Bros. Shield.
It's-
And he got stunned. And
it turns out, so Gates was right. If you hit him really, really, really hard, it works. But just Gates couldn't hit him hard enough was his problem. That was his limit.
This is the lamest plan in history. Like, you know what a simpler plan would have been? Both of you attack him from both directions. His reflection only works in one direction.
But,
Yeah.
That's a simpler plan that at least involved some type of, like, strategy. But no, it's, I punched him real hard.
or you attack him and then you defend yourself.
Or instead of just standing there and watching the attack flying at you.
Yeah, just like run behind a fucking wall or something.
or you
I
could
don't
just
know.
die, I guess.
That's what it should have been. It should have been he gets the Ryuki watch and he uses fucking shield vent, and that's how he wins. I would have been totally down with that.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
That would have been cool.
Just like run at him with your shoulders forward so you block everything that flies back at you. Fuck it.
Or you could have used one of the powers from the Hay Saber, the item they used 3 times.
Ride Hay
That
Saber.
has access to all of the abilities from 10 years of Kamen Rider. It's
Oh,
been
yeah.
used less than
I
10
forgot
times.
about the decade upgrade.
Decade up? What are you talking about? We have a new one now. We threw that one in the garbage. That's done.
Well,
That's gone
Yeah,
forever.
the new one is like normal Geo, but it punches harder.
Yeah.
Buy it.
We never need Decade again.
Well,
Yeah, episode 21 is a... Oh, yeah, sorry. So they win, and everybody's happy, and Shinji reunites with his old boss, and they decide to do a joint business venture again, and Kamen Rider Kikai is teased.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. What did you guys think about episode 22? I guess we've already given our thoughts.
It stinks.
Thank you, Jeff.
It's pretty dumb.
It's a weak ending to the two-parter. Like Tomas said, Shinji's little character arc where he comes back to his old boss and they have a nice little reunion was cool.
Yeah.
I genuinely enjoyed, like, I really loved that moment
Yeah.
at the end of
yeah.
the episode when they were talking to each other.
It was
Like, that's something that I wish the show did more of, mostly because it has nothing at all to do with Geo, which is about as much as this show should have to do with Geo, which is not.
Yeah.
Well, it's
you
like-
did.
Because that's about all the effort they put into the character development of the characters that they bring.
You did miss a very important plot point at the end of the episode
what's that?
where Sogo's like, I accept both the light and the darkness in my heart. And Tsukiyomi's like, oh my god, he's Hitler! I gotta join the bad guys now.
Oh my god, I forgot how fucking... Yeah, that's when she did that.
I
I
must-
don't understand what the fuck they're doing with her
I
now.
must kill it. He thought once a bad thought. He said a swear once. He's definitely gonna kill Machio.
He was like, holy shit, he can be a world conqueror because he accepts both the darkness and the light. So I'm gonna join
Because
White
Kingdom
Woes,
Hearts
who
is
I know
light.
literally nothing about.
Somebody cut off Sogo on the I-19, and he fantasized about tailgating him. So now he's gonna be fucking Hitler for sure.
Yeah, so now Tsukiyomi wants him dead, but she's a girl, so she can't transform into anything.
Yeah, she has no
So
powers.
she-
So
here.
she just has to get a guy to do
Yeah,
it.
she
for her.
joined the bad guy because only a guy.
I
can do
noticed
it.
the bad guy that doesn't really seem like a bad guy because of what he's vying for, but could be lying and also has godly powers of changing the events in history.
This is the kind of like
and controlling the actions of other people
Yeah.
like a puppet.
He should pop that book open and write Geo chokes on his fucking noodles.
yeah, it's so simple. This is the kind of like conflict that would be really interesting by a good writer, where you have like the woes who wants something bad, and the white woes who like nominally want something good but is really shady and weird about it and
They shouldn't-
suspicious. That could be like
they shouldn't even have
really
this
interesting.
fucking book. This is so dumb.
If he didn't have the
Yep.
book, yeah,
Like,
fuck that book.
The book
He
is
doesn't
the
have the
dumbest
fucking
fucking
Death
thing.
Note.
Yeah,
It's unnecessary, and then it just makes everyone ask the question, why don't you just write it in the book?
He also like barely uses it. Like it
Yeah.
is the most ultimate powerful thing in the history of Kamen Rider.
thing
He
is,
just
like,
doesn't use it.
I don't know if we mentioned this last month, but Rider as a series is full of plot contrivance and convenient shit. You don't need to have this book here. Like, if you want to have... Like, there's an episode later where they're like... He writes in his book, like, we stumbled into another Kikai. But, like, you don't need to write it in the book. Like, we know you can just drive around town on a motorcycle until you find him. Like, you don't have to have
Right.
this. Like, that's all they use
you
it
just
for.
run into him at the spot underneath the bridge or over by the stadium. Yeah, we know. That's how this
They
works.
haven't used the book for anything interesting. They just have the book there to confuse the audience, to say, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? Why doesn't he just give himself $1 trillion? I don't know.
No, they just use it to say, oh, well, you can't stop time now.
Yeah, whoopsie. I guess that was the one thing he did that couldn't have been done by something else.
He could have had a power.
Just have a gadget. I come from the future too, asshole. I can resist your time.
Yeah, I have a time stop power too.
Yeah.
Because fuck you.
Because fuck you.
Like, the time jackers have never been explained either. It doesn't matter. Just give him a time stop power. Instead, he has... It's not even the Death Note, because it doesn't just have one power.
It's
it has every
It's
power.
the anything note.
If I could turn back time,
Speaking,
if I could find a way...
if the time jackers make even less sense in the next 2 episodes.
Oh, I love these next 2 episodes. They're so fucking bad. Are we ready
It's
to
a
talk?
metaphor for lost friendship, guys.
Oh, of course. You can't lose
Except
friendship that you
like a
never had.
metaphor for lost interest.
Except it's not lost friendship, because they're friends again at the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think they were friends to begin. I don't know what they are.
They have respect for each other.
The show doesn't even know what they are.
No.
Hey, you remember when Shinji not Shinji. Do you remember when... it was a fucking insult to Shinji. Do you remember when Sogo fell asleep and he dreamed of Kamen Rider Shinobi and then it turned real? And then
Yeah.
they waited like 6 episodes to point out that he had premonition powers now?
No, he doesn't have premonition
Yeah.
powers. He has god powers.
He
Yeah,
dreams
he has
it
the
and it
power to
becomes
rewrite
real.
time by accident.
Whoopsie. How much do you want to bet that's going to be explored?
Do you remember like a long time ago when we were doing this? I said, wouldn't it be hilarious if Sogo just like completely blather fucking bumfucks his way into becoming Omagio just by making accident after accident? I
Yeah.
think that might be what's happening.
Like, it's like a comedy of errors.
Yeah.
He tripped on a shoelace.
Oops,
We all wish we could accidentally be this successful.
I fucked up and subjugated all the world's nations. Whoopsie.
He,
Uh-oh.
And what happened to the fucking machines that were going to destroy the
Oh,
surface?
They're still standing there.
Oh yeah, they never went back underground. We just never saw them again.
The super
No.
Oma machines or something.
Oh,
What are they called?
Tubamabas.
Lord.
And like Liam has said, like there's always stupid plot contrivances and things that don't make sense in Kamen Rider. Like, it's not the best written show. Like, we don't expect it to be.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's nothing going on here that's interesting remotely.
There's a baseline as well. Like,
look back at Build. Like, not only was the show written really well, but it had good character development, had good character interactions.
Oh, I love Build.
You cared about what was going on screen.
Yeah.
People did things that mostly made sense.
Mostly made sense.
So even when an alien comes in from out of fucking left field and has taken control of a scientist, like a spaceman scientist, and is manipulating everyone into like following his orders so he can take over the entire world instead of just blowing it up, which he could have done at any point in the last 10 years. Sure, there's plot holes, things that don't make sense, but you don't care because the characters are interesting and they're doing stuff that is like you can forget about all the other stuff that doesn't make sense because the show is interesting.
There is forgivable things if it is a good show.
Yeah.
But
well,
all we have right now is a bunch of stuff that stares us in the face because we have nothing interesting going on in the show to distract us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Everyone's so
I
fucking
gotta-
boring.
I got a fun quiz for you guys.
ooh,
Alright,
I love
alright.
What
quizzes.
is Sogo's personality?
It's impossible. There's no answer to that question.
What is Gates's personality?
He's
I
mad.
think that Sogo's personality is he's just plain toast without any butter on it.
True.
Sogo wants to be the king, and
Will-
Mirror Sogo does not want to be the king.
Will be Zakingu.
And
We'll get to that.
yeah.
What is Tsukiyomi's personality?
Girl,
I don't even know what Tsukiyomi's motivation is.
What a girl.
I don't even know why she's here.
Female.
What is Uncle Clock's personality?
he's a
I
he's
guess
a
he's-
very patient uncle.
Space cadet.
Yeah.
He's dumb. He's very forgiving. He
Show
doesn't-
should be about him. He's got a
He's
personality.
very excited
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
work on things.
he's sociable.
he likes machines.
He's a good host.
He is a very good host.
Wow, he's the most fleshed out character in the show.
He
You're right,
really
Jeff.
is.
What the fuck?
Can he be a Kamen Rider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
He
is
should be
what is
fucking Kamen Rider
Ur's
Uncle
personality?
Clocks.
I'd watch that shit.
What is Ur's personality?
He has
Kid.
a stupid name.
Petulant.
He's a petulant
Shorts.
child. Yeah. Shorts.
Yeah.
Shorts.
Shorts and rain boots that only come up to his ankles.
Shinji has more of a personality. Like, we were talking about this with the first and second episode, where I was saying that that Build, like the Kiryu Sento and Banjo Ryuga, had more characterization, personality, and charisma in those two episodes, and the few scenes they had, than was developed between the entire main cast.
Fucking
And that's still the case.
Kamen Rider Shinobi and Kamen Rider Quiz had more personality than anybody in this fucking show, and they were in 2 episodes each.
And it's not that, like, and again, it's not that these actors or actresses can't act or anything, because we saw in the .5s they actually have good they have good what am I thinking chemistry.
Yeah.
Like they know how to interact with each other on screen in a way that's fun and interesting, but they don't know how to. The writers don't know how to get that into the show.
Yeah, it's fucking
just do good.
It's tragic. It's a tragedy.
Yeah, I mean, as we pointed out, it's not that they can't write characters that are interesting and have personalities. They just seem to not. They just don't when it comes
I
to the main
bet
character.
if we
think
got
it's
drunk in a
the
bar, we could make a better script on some cocktail napkins.
Easy. Easy.
I think it's because the show keeps switching writers and directors, so that there's no consistency in their characters, which is why they seem so boring and shitty.
Yeah.
Like there's
Which was also brought up in the .5s. So how the hell those .5s even got made?
yeah, seriously.
Like, if they know exactly what they're doing wrong, and that was what got a bunch of interest on Twitter before. It's like, if they keep bringing up all the stuff they know that isn't working, why do they keep making the same mistakes?
because they're dumb.
It's easy to know what your flaws are. It's harder to actually do something about them.
Yeah.
I guess that goes for writing
Yeah.
as well.
That's true.
It's easier to just give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what we're doing, actually.
You heard it here, folks. If you come up against a problem in your life, just fucking give up. It's easiest.
Give up.
It's the fastest
I
way.
feel like I've heard that
Sorry.
before.
In that spirit, let's move on to episode 22.
Speaking of giving up, so Sogo fails his exams predictably. Finally, we have some sort of consequence for all of his fuckery. He fails his exams and he has to take a makeup test, which he fails. So he has to take a makeup test, and
Which he cheats on and only gets an 84.
we'll get to that. He falls asleep while he's studying, and he dreams of the year 2121, where a robot Kamen Rider named Kamen Rider Kikai fights robots disguised as people.
Oh man, it was so
attack him.
great watching him beat up old people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, Kamen Rider, this is the cheapest idea we've ever had.
Yeah. What
We
if
don't
didn't
even
have to
need
make
monster suits for this.
Yeah. Oh god, we'll save like $28 a year doing this.
Fight some
Fucking, like,
replicants.
The one thing that really, like, I saw it and I didn't react physically, but deep inside, the anger switch was flipped on. And it was just that way for the rest of the episode. He goes to transform, and his belt is just the fucking back piece from the Geo driver.
Yeah.
It's just the back piece.
Like, all of them have the Jiku driver, but this guy is literally just that, and that's it. He doesn't have... He sticks a wrench onto it, and that's all.
Yeah, he doesn't do any special spinnies or anything. Just
Yeah.
And it's... He looks okay. I can't really tell what pieces he's made out of, which is a testament to the skill in putting him together.
It looks like all original stuff.
Yeah. He's like much more he's a robot who's playing a character who's supposed to be bland and robotic, and he's way more interesting than Sogo.
Well, that's probably from the years of playing Kikaider.
He is the guy that was Kikaider, wasn't he?
Was he?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
that's why he's Kikai.
Yeah.
Because Kikai.
That's
He's got a
funny.
very
Well,
strong,
Kikai also
he's
means
got a very
machine.
strong
It means
jaw,
machine,
doesn't he?
yeah.
He does. He was in that episode with fucking
Gaim.
Gaim, yeah.
Yeah,
where
where he
he
shows
became
up for one
best
episode.
friends with Gaim.
Where it's Dr. Waring.
Yeah.
He took
Dr.
his brain
Waring,
out
yeah.
and put it in a robot.
Who could
And
forget
then took
that?
it back out and put it in his body again afterwards.
Oh,
It's
God.
bullshit.
They never mentioned that again.
How do you mention that again? How? So what happened with your brain being in that robot? I mean,
He has these like
got tired of
giant
it.
comical Frankenstein threads through his
Yeah.
head where he put his brain back in.
That's stupid.
And then in the next episode he's fine.
He is a genius doctor, Dr. Waring.
It heals up. Ryoma Waring.
Tensai Doctor.
What were we talking about?
Kikai.
right.
We had just got to Kikai.
So Gates calls him. He wakes him up from his dream by calling his cell phone and being like, "Hey, there's another rider."
They fight another nobody knows yet.
They fight. Yeah, they think it's. They don't know. They think it's something, but it's another Kikai.
Tree.
And they
Yeah,
beat
he's
him.
made out of trees.
He's made of trees.
Smokujin.
They beat him, but his face is a bug, and it crawls away and crawls onto a tree and turns that into another.
It's fucking
Kikai?
creepy, that's what it is.
Yeah,
It is creepy. It's got like the standard like tokusatsu monster mouth, angry mouth, and like hook nose on it, but it's just a bug otherwise.
It's freaky. And all the time, like Aura's like, you made this so bad," and Ur's like, "I didn't make it," and Schwartz is like, "I didn't fucking do it either. What's going on here?" And so everyone's all confused about where it came from. And Sogo goes back to study again, and he falls asleep, and he dreams of the future again. And Kikai talks to him, and he says, "Hey, man, in the future, the world's all ruled by machines, and humans are kept in this one little area, but the machines are fucking with them anyways for some reason."
And it's interesting to note, this is not an alternate timeline.
This is the
and
future.
no one seems to care.
No one cares.
Everybody's just like, oh, there are only like a couple hundred humans left, and they live in a tiny walled city. Whatever. It's the future.
This is 100 years in the future too. It's not that fucking
Mega
far off.
City 1.
No,
That's
it's like mini city 1.
Mini City 1. This actually seems much worse than Omagio. Are we gonna do anything about it?
I'd love to see like Kamen
No.
Rider Dread, or better yet, I'd just like to watch Dread instead.
Yeah.
Dread.
God, that's a good movie.
Great movie.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
So after explaining this setting, the robots, they're called humanoids.
Yeah, humanoids.
Humanoids. Too cool a name for this. They beat up Sogo and he wakes up again. And Gates is fighting the another rider.
They hit him in the face with a fucking shovel.
Yeah,
and it wakes
holy
him
shit.
up.
He goes to meet Gates, and Gates beats the another rider again. And Sogo shows up right afterwards, and he says, "Look, I had a dream about this rider, and it's kind of maybe like this one. It's maybe kind of like this one. This is it." And Gates says, "Sogo, you gotta fucking study, man. You're gonna fail high school, and then you can never be the Overlord." And
You have to have a high
Yeah,
school
because
diploma.
those two things are related.
Yeah.
You can't go to Overlord school if you don't get your high school diploma first.
How are you going to get your first job as king?
You can never will be the
He's
king.
gotta deal with all that student debt before he becomes king.
Yeah. He's becoming king so he can forgive his own student.
Wait a minute. It's important to point out that our heroes would know that another Kikai survives and he's a bug with a face on it that walks away if they didn't look away from every explosion that happens in this show and
You don't
take
wanna-
like 5 minutes to turn around and look at it.
You don't want to damage your retinas from looking at the explosion, though, so...
Horse shit.
So White Woes comes and he says, "Look, I also have no clue about this rider. I didn't bring him back. The only lead is in Sogo's dreams." So Gates goes back and he tries to get Sogo to sleep again so he can like learn more. So Sogo goes to sleep and he dreams again. And he sees Kikai get corrupted by a satellite thing. He has to power up by getting solar energy from a satellite. So he goes to get his solar energy power up. But it's like red beam instead of
It's
a
red
blue
sun
beam.
energy.
So it's like a red beam and it turns him evil, and he starts attacking. He starts attacking Sogo, and meanwhile they go to fight it again. Another
Kikai.
and they make no progress because they beat him and the bug gets away. But Schwartz takes the bug and he puts it on Ur's face because I guess he says like, "Oh, Ur's mind will balance the power." Or some stupid shit.
It'll make a watch somehow.
It'll make a
Somehow, like,
watch.
It'll make a watch if you put it on this small child's face.
And they'll be like, I love, this was the part where he's like, "Yeah, I'll put it in and it'll make a watch. Shall we have a contest to see who can get the watch first?" And I'm like, you've never won. You've never, ever succeeded. Ever. You and your ilk have never won. Like, it dawned on me all at once, like, this is the stupidest fucking villains. They're not...
They've never succeeded at anything.
They're the Team Rocket of Kamen Rider. They've never, ever won.
They do know that toys are born from the suffering of children.
You remember how in almost every other Kamen Rider series before this, the villains are constantly like taking things away from the protagonist, and like, oh, they show the little cards at the end of every episode, like, these are the upgrades this person has right now. This is what this person
Counts
can
the
use right
medals.
now. And like stuff changes. Yeah, count the medals or the bottles in build or the shift cars. Actually, I don't remember if the shift cars get taken.
Oh.
No, they don't.
Maybe.
Do
I
they?
don't fucking know.
Some of them get sad and drive away.
They get pieces of plastic put on them and they get corrupted.
Yeah.
None
But
of that
either
happens
way,
in this.
None of that happens.
Sorry. Whatever.
Even though they don't need any of these watches after they use them, because they're not useful to beat any other rider than the
I didn't
rider
think
they
about
use to
that.
get them.
Yeah, they're
they
completely
don't need 'em.
pointless.
They're just used to show off the shitty pauldrons whenever they
Yeah.
fight something for 2 minutes and then run away because they're like, wait, there's no point in us beating this because we can't kill it.
Yeah. It's we were talking about that earlier where like every time they come up against, oh, it's another rider. I'll try the X-Aid power. And it's like, motherfucker, you know it's not going to work.
Yeah.
What are you doing wasting time like this?
A fair answer to my questions earlier about what is Sogo's personality, what is Gates' personality, is blithering fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Because they never retain information across episodes. It's like fucking Leave It to Beaver. They forget the lesson at the end of every goddamn episode. And Ward Cleaver has to teach them that they ought to use the fucking writer's own power against them every new episode.
It's like...
If they would have stayed in the hospital where Shinji was for a little bit longer, maybe a doctor could have diagnosed him with early onset Alzheimer's or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You have dumb brain disease, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
For sure. I hate these characters. I had a moment.
Stayed in school.
I had a moment in this episode where like Sogo is sleeping, or he's about to fall asleep, and he's like, "Oh, something smells good," and it cuts to Gates, and he's like wafting lavender at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Lavender's supposed to help you sleep," and I was just sitting there like, I fucking hate these characters. I hate them. I fucking hate them.
You have a dawning moment where you're like, yeah, fuck this TV show, actually.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tsukuyomi's over there, like, getting jiggy with White Waz, and you're just like, why does she all of a sudden think that, like, Sogo is the worst thing ever, when she was the only one going up to bat for him for 20 episodes?
It's true. Do you remember the episode where Sogo joined a tyrannical madman's fake kingdom in the middle of Tokyo as a retainer because he wanted to know what it was like to be king? And Tsukuyomi was like, "No, we have to believe in him.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt."
But then he said he's okay with both the darkness and the light in his body, so of course, double Hitler.
he's for Hitlers. It's what was I gonna say? I think Tsukuyomi had a very, very magical night with White Woes, and that's why she's choosing sides.
White Woes was not wearing a leather jacket the next episode, so that didn't happen.
Yeah, it's true. Yep. Maybe they did something else. I don't know. Maybe White Woes is a Mormon.
They touched time machines together.
They touched each other's watches. And, yeah.
I don't think we were done explaining this episode.
No, I had one more point. So, he puts the bug on Ur's face. Everybody splits. Mm-hmm. Everybody leaves. The time jackers go their own way. Runs off, and White Woes and Gates and Tsukuyomi all leave together, and Sogo's kind of left alone, and he's lonely because he's realizing all of his friends are drifting apart away from him because they want to kill him.
And just in case you didn't get that, Black Woes shows up and says it right to the camera.
He is all alone, and he is lonely, as it is written in this book. Average high schooler.
This book that has not been important to the plot for 10 fucking episodes that I still keep referencing like it matters.
Yep.
I think like 2 episodes ago he started reading from it again, and it like had information in it, just arbitrarily.
That was he was like, before he was like, oh, we're going off the path, like the book's not working anymore, it doesn't have the info, and then he just fucking starts reading from it again. Just why not?
Yeah, I don't care.
Why not? Yeah.
No one cares.
No one cares. I think I hate these 2 episodes the most of all. Maybe this is appropriate that this is the last episode of Radical Radio, because these 2 are the worst. I want to like it because Kikai is cool. Just like how Shinobi and Quiz were also pretty cool. I like Kikai. But I love the fact that they just throw away all logic for this episode and are like, no, he's summoning shit from his dreams now, just out of nowhere. There better be a damn fucking good explanation for this.
There won't be.
He's
the master of all time, Liam. That means he can rewrite reality?
Like before there was that thing where he had the dream that predicted... No. Remember he had the dream that predicted the Omama genes coming out of the ground?
I just thought of something stupid. It was all a dream. The entire show.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word
No.
Up magazine. I would. You know what?
I think I would prefer that.
Yeah.
If none of this actually happened, and we could just get a clean slate for the next rider.
He wakes up and he's like, "Oh, I had a dream that I had two friends and everybody acted really nonsensically and a bunch of dumb shit happened."
He wakes up in a padded room.
Yeah, I was about to say.
We're like,
And then the orderly brings him his food.
at a certain point, we're supposed to feel bad for him in these 2 episodes, where his uncle's like, oh, when he was a kid, him talking about being a king all the time made the other kids think he was odd, so he never had any friends. And I'm like, of course this fucking weirdo didn't have any friends.
I revel in Sogo's suffering. I have no sympathy for him. And not in a good way, like when Shinji gets put through the ringer and has bad things happen to him, I like it because he's going to develop as a character, and it's interesting to see a character deal with that shit. Sogo, I just hate him. I just want to see bad things happen to him, so...
Yep. He's like, oh, thank you for being my nephew's friend. I'm apparently, like, too understanding of an uncle, and I let his delusions end up at this fucking point.
He had a robot that says, "We'll be the king," written on the back of it in English.
And I just keep it on my desk at my store.
We'll be the king.
If it turned out that Uncle Clocks was Omagio this
Oh,
whole time,
God,
and
I would love
he
that.
just kept, like, giving these bumbling fucking stupid-ass speeches that caused Sogo to make the wrong decision over and over again on purpose, that would be also stupid and would not make the show any better.
That would be the betrayal of the century. But yeah, it couldn't save the show. That's a shame.
Anyway, let's do the last episode of this horse shit.
Let's knock it out. Okay, so episode 24. Gio falls asleep again, and he's attacked by Kikai in the future.
Good.
And the kids at the warehouse. He's in the abandoned warehouse, and all of Kikai's child friends are like, he's not bad. He's not just a machine. He's our friend. And Soko's like, friend? What is that? I have to find out. So he's going to go, like, find him. And in the real world, Tsukiyomi... Gates is like, man, we should find another way. Like, we should ask Sogo to help to fight this another rider. And Tsukiyomi's like, you can't possibly be thinking of asking for Sogo's help. We're supposed to kill him. Gates, take the 3 watches and kill Sogo. My boyfriend Woes told me.
What a dumb fucking idiot. This chick is like, a whole fucking show is like, Sogo's my friend. He would never hurt anybody. And then suddenly she's like, Gates, how could you ever fucking think he's your friend and wouldn't hurt anybody?
It's just such a...
You probably got a small dick, you fucking bitch.
It's such a...
Wow.
It's such a heel turn for no fucking good reason.
There is a great point. I don't know if it's at the end of this episode. I think it may have been at the end of the last episode where Tsukiyomi walks down some stairs and she's like, you know what we have to do now, right, Gates? And the camera pans back and Gates is just standing in some fucking bushes off to the side.
Yeah.
Tinkle, okay?
Great shot.
Why did you do that? What the fuck was that supposed to symbolize?
It's supposed to symbolize that he's lost in the forest of emotions. But all they
He's
had was a
standing
bush.
in the bushes.
He's standing in the bushes of emotions.
He's like, Tsukiyomi, fucking piss off. I'm trying to see through the neighbor's window.
It's purely sexual,
Or
yeah.
he just had...
No, it was clearly a reference to that episode of The Simpsons where Homer's like backing into the bushes
Oh, yeah.
to try and escape.
Tons of
He's trying to
Simpsons
escape his
references.
fate.
Yeah.
Ah.
He's trying to, much
Show
like Homer.
sucks.
Yeah. So Aura appears and he says, "Look," she asks White Woe. She says, "I need help saving because he is my friend." And so everybody meets at the pit, including Aura and White Woes, and they all meet at the pit and they form a temporary alliance against another Kikai. So Sogo, meanwhile, like to help the alliance, he goes to find Kikai in the future in his dream, and he fights him and he wins, and Kikai shuts down. And in the real world, while he's sleeping, Sogo's Uncle Clocks, he's talking to Tsukiyomi, and he says, "Look, hey, I'm so happy that you're friends because Sogo has no friends. Everybody hates him. Everybody hates
Even me.
him. Hates him.
He
Even me."
says everybody hates him, and he looks right at the camera. And he says,
Everybody.
everybody.
I try and poison him every day, but he just doesn't eat.
He's built up an immunity to the iocane powder.
Gotta switch to arsenic. He says he has no friends, and he says for a while he thought this toy robot was his friend, and the toy robot has "Will be the king" written on the back, and
in English.
in English,
And everybody keeps saying "Will be the king"
"Will be the
when
king."
they read it.
And in the future, the kids say that Kikai tells them, he says the phrase "will be the BFF"
Great phrase.
in English. And,
Great phrase.
Sogo says, he wakes up and he says, "Oh my god, Kikai probably has a password. So we'll use this password to reprogram him."
He probably has a
Oh,
password.
he always says this phrase, so that must be the password.
It must be the password on this tree. Let's put this password
He
into
walks
the
up
tree.
and touches the tree on its chest, and then a fucking dialogue box opens up
Great. It's
with a
great.
fucking keyboard.
They go to fight another Kikai and they try the password, but it doesn't work. And Tsukiyomi appears, and she says, "Try this password, will be Zakingu." And Aura uses it to get the watch, and puts the watch into to turn him into another Kikai again, so he can become king, I guess?
She's taking control. Like, it's her puppet. She's
Okay.
like, "You'll be my puppet now. I don't really want to be friends with you, audience."
Just a jape. And Tsukiyomi is murdered by another Kikai. And just when something interesting is about to happen, Sogo rewinds time and says, "Gates, you have to use the password. Like, don't hesitate or else Tsukiyomi will die."
Don't hesitate, or else this show will have plot
Oh
development.
no. I was thinking when that was happening, like the missiles were landing around her, I was like, and now this is when you end the episode, at the height of the tension. And then they didn't. They rewinded time, thus dissolving all the tension in the scene. And so they rewind time, they do it right this time, they use the right password. White Woes gets the watch, they beat another Kikai. Sogo goes to the future, he enters Will be the BFF on real Kikai, who comes back to life and is Sogo's friend. White Woes gives Gates the revive can. It looks like a
It's
can.
an hourglass.
It's a hourglass.
Hourglass. Shit, I thought it was a soda can. That makes way more sense. He gives him...
Oh, hold on. Let me see what time it is. Let me check my soda can.
Check my soda can, yeah. Check my Pepsi can to see what time it is. And that's it. That's episode 24. Fuck.
You know, because it's like a dream universe, I guess, Kikai's future may be real, may not be real.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't matter, but Kikai still can't live without, like, powering up with that satellite that turns him evil every single time.
And that shit's compromised.
So, what did you really fucking accomplish, Sogo?
He woke up from the dream. And he's never going back.
Will
He's just gonna
be
forget
the
about it.
BFF.
Will be the BFF. Don't you ever have that when you're having a really bad dream and everything's going bad and you wake up and you're like, oh, thank God I'm out of that.
I don't have to worry about any of those
Oh,
fuckers
that was
anymore.
all. Yeah, that was.
And then
all
everyone
some
in your
bullshit.
dream just fucking dies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except that's the real future, according to this episode.
apparently.
Yeah,
it-
so all that stuff you're doing to try and save the future, I guess it really doesn't matter if Sogo becomes the king, because like 5%, or not, like 1% of humanity, or some small number of humanity, is left in a small area of Japan, and the entire rest of the world is turned into some sort of machinopolis.
I have a question.
Sure.
So he's writing.
You have a question.
He's writing.
One question.
He's writing the future. If he had dreamed about something else, would the future be different?
Yeah.
If he had dreamed that it was like candy that take over the world, would the future?
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
candy?
man.
There would be a Candy Kamen Rider, and
So
he
it's
would
his
fight
fault for
monster
dreaming.
candy.
It's his
Awesome.
fault for dreaming a nightmarish dream.
Yes. It
Okay.
is completely his fault. That's why
Okay.
Tsukiyomi is like, we should probably kill him.
This too is
I want to see
Sogo's
some
fault.
fucking Kamen Rider O. Henry.
Like, you realize, like, Tsukiyomi is in, what, like 2068 they're from? Was it 2068?
I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like 21...
Because it's 50 years from 2018.
Yeah, 2121 is in her lifetime. She'll be kind of old, but that's in her lifetime. She should be very, very worried.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's
Oh, unless she dies.
she'll be pretty old if she
Unless
lives
she
that
gets
long.
hit by 20 missiles from a tree.
I was so mad. She was hit by the missiles, and I was like, "Holy shit! They're doing something interesting here." And I was like,
No.
Then you should have remembered what happened 2 episodes
I
ago
know.
when Gates died and then time got rewound.
I forgot.
So they're just like, oh, let's just do that
They
shit
should
again.
have. They should have at least ended it there when you're not sure what's going to happen, and then do that next episode to extreme disappoint you.
Why don't...
But instead, they just fuck it right there.
They disappoint you at the end of every episode instead of front-loading the disappointment.
Yeah, get it over with in the first 2 minutes.
I don't know. I'm pretty disappointed when I first start watching it every time too. So.
The second you see Sogo, and you're like,
It's
oh,
been like 3 series in a row where Kamen Rider protagonists have the power to rewrite the plot, and it's getting kind of...
Yeah, it's fucking old.
But the
tired
thing is,
of
like,
it.
You look at Build, right? He had the kick that did random shit, but like, if something bad happened to Build, he didn't have the power to turn back time and undo it.
It just
That's
kicks the
some
gas
bullshit.
out of people.
That's just
And I don't really even remember exactly how X-Aid, like, rewrote... Like, he could affect, like, one person at a time, and I don't even remember what he changed.
cure the Bugster virus.
It was
I think.
stupid?
Yeah, he like
take the Bugster out of
erased the
people.
Bugster virus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We were complaining about that. Like, everyone has got significantly worse. The
Yeah.
power has gotten more
it
ridiculous.
gets worse and worse. And those were the final forms. This is the fucking mid-series upgrade.
What's the final form
At
gonna
this-
do?
At this point, the protagonist should have, like, a writer credit.
Yeah,
At this point, the protagonist should be the villain if he's like destroying time. And I guess
I mean,
that's
that's
the
what they're
point.
saying.
But like, he's not. He's still being treated like he's the hero.
I hope that each time he sorry, that was his name. He fucks with time.
that little applause. Sorry.
Each time he fucks with time, it just kind of weakens the space-time continuum, and then like crazy cosmic monsters just seep in from another dimension, and that's what he has to fight for the rest
I would
of the
dig that.
series.
Mirror
That'd be-
monsters.
He has to fight, like, the SPD that are here to, like, or, like, the time
Oh
police.
shit!
Fucking
Time Squad?
Space
Time
Sheriff.
Squad.
Kavan.
Yeah,
Network
Time
show.
Squad. That's what I was trying to remember. He has to fight the Time Squad.
But yeah, that's too smart for this show. So
That'd be too interesting and cool. So yeah, they'll never have that happen.
I thought
It's-
like when the little wooden bug showed up, and they were like, "Oh, I didn't make it. Oh, I didn't make it." That it was gonna
Who's
be
that
like
supposed to
the.
be?
That was all of them.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was gonna be like, actually, I, Oma Geo, made it. I'm taking fucking control. But instead, it's just like, Sogo made it by accident.
Instead, it's the dumbest possible explanation.
it's like when Wesley accidentally made nanomachines that took over the Enterprise.
Yeah. He fucking accidentally made a form of life.
Yep.
I hate that kid. That's
How?
Wesley and Sogo are the same child. They're just, I fucking hate him.
Would, oh god, what's his name? The actor.
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Would Will Wheaton play the American version of Tokiwa Sogo?
Will Wheaton is like 50 years old. He's not
Would
playing
Will
anybody.
Wheaton play? Would Will Wheaton play the American version of Tokiwa Sogo?
He'd play Uncle Clocks.
Gotta hope not.
He'd suck his own dick in every episode.
Or maybe he would play Oma Geo. He would play like the future 2068 Sogo.
You know, I pray that the show never gets adapted so that this never happens. This never is a dilemma.
If we
that's
have any
approached
luck,
by
this will
anybody.
be the one that they bring over. They'll
Hey.
be like, yeah, let's bring over Ryuki with Dragon Knight, and then we'll bring over Geo.
Sure.
Hey, have you guys seen, I think it's called Beast Morphers. Like, I'm always the guy who says, like, fuck Power Rangers, I don't really care. But have you guys seen the advertisement, like, any clips or anything from
Oh.
the new Power Rangers that's,
Go Busters.
Go Busters?
Go Busters adaptation. No, I
No.
haven't.
Like, it has out of suit martial arts in it that's on par with the Gavon Next Generation movies.
Really?
Really?
I was fucking blown away with how good it
Huh.
was.
high
Saban is
praise.
shelling out the big
Yeah.
bucks, I guess.
I guess so. I mean, I think they just hired.
Oh, it's not Saban anymore, is it? It's
Oh.
Hasbro.
It is
Okay.
Hasbro.
Oh, that
Yeah.
Hasbro money.
So that makes sense.
Now that
But,
those
like-
cheap asses at Saban don't have it anymore, yeah.
Like actual stunts and shit, like the characters like leaping over boxes and like jump kicking, and it was really
Destroying plastic furniture.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. The thing is, like, I was watching that after I watched the clip of that on, like, an Instagram feed. It just came up when I was searching. And I had just finished watching all 4 episodes at 2 times speed of Geo. And I was like, man, even against 2 times speed, the fight scenes in Geo are fucking garbage compared to this.
I remember looking at the one between him and where it was really obvious was him versus fucking another robot Kikai in the alleyway.
Yeah.
And the camera's like zooming all over the place, like it's the most exciting shit in the world, and they're just fucking standing there looking at each other, and like one guy steps forward and swings a sword, and the other guy jumps back, and then the other guy steps forward and swipes.
The one that really stood out to me is when Gates and Woes are fighting against another Ryuga, and another Ryuga just keeps punching Gates in the chest over and over again, and that's it. That's the whole
It's
fight.
funny, because when I was watching these episodes, I was thinking, like, man, I wish we could go back to when there was actual, like, good fighting in these, instead of just, here's like a bar brawl, and then they push a button on their belt and kick. Or they swing a sword and a giant particle effect stabs the bad guy.
Or they shoot a big laser.
Doesn't even hit him with the sword. The frickin' the light beams that come out of the sword crush him, and he turns into casino money.
That's what turned me off to Ghost. Like, when he got the Beethoven, well, and other things, but when he got the Beethoven power and literally just, like, stood there making music notes hit somebody, I was like, well, I'm done here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last episode I watched.
I wish that got
worse.
Last episode I watched.
It just got worse.
Yep.
And the thing is, like, the suits are too bulky. Like, for the last few shows, the suits have been so bulky past a certain point. Like, at the beginning of each show, the fight scenes are fairly good. But then, like, 5-6 episodes in, they start getting upgrades that have, like, giant pauldrons or big chest pieces. Or
aircraft carrier onto somebody.
Yeah, so they can't move. So it's just...
Give his head a giant spoiler.
Yeah.
It's just... I don't know. I know these shows aren't martial arts movies or whatever, but I wish they were.
Yeah.
There were points in build where they decided this effect that they want during this fight scene is so complicated, we're just going to have it be CG. And so we have a CG grease sliding along the floor and then doing a giant grease tornado kick.
Yeah, I don't like the CG. Like, replacing the whole body with CG, that makes me sick.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't nice.
Especially when the only time you show a form in the entire show is in the last episode and it's CG and looks terrible.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love that shit.
the gold and silver thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's...
I really like that design, too, is the thing, but it just looks god-awful.
It's funny, on the Kamen Rider wiki, it's also CG. They don't have, like, a suit for it at all.
There's one episode in the batch from this month where Gates turns into, like, Fies mode or something, and he becomes full CG, just, like, to jump up in the air, because they didn't want to do wire work or something. And it looks fucking dreadful. It looks like a Tekken 1 cutscene.
Oh yeah, the camera's moving at a different speed than he is. So it's really obvious that it's CG.
It's so bad.
The thing that really kind of bugged me a little bit, and it's my own fault, is when Sogo goes into the mirror and Mirror Sogo transforms, he has like the opposite lettering and everything. And I was like, oh shit, they actually like made a new helmet for this. That's really cool. But then when he like goes up to Sogo, who's also transformed, they split screen it, and I'm like,
oh yeah.
The old parent trap trick.
Yeah.
I thought that whole sequence was so neat, and then I was like, oh, they didn't think about all that. They just freaking flipped the vertical line. Like, they did a vertical flip on the entire shot.
I thought it was impressive until they got near each other. I was like, oh, they made a whole other helmet. That's awesome. And no.
That's crazy.
That's all it would have
They
taken.
made his transformation backwards, and they did everything else backwards.
I'm sure they made a magazine exclusive toy,
Bastards.
though.
Oh, yeah. Mirror Zeo,
Yeah.
$39.99.
They just inverted the mold.
Well, if it's an exclusive, it's $89.99. My bad. The show's not good.
Nope.
Yeah, don't waste your time.
That's putting it lightly. This show's pretty terrible.
Like, I haven't been this angry at a show since Ghost.
That's why I'm just looking forward. I'm really hoping that Ryu Soldier is going to be good, because I just
hope
want
so.
something good to watch.
The Super Sentai special thing that's introducing Ryu Soldier is actually really good.
I have the episodes downloaded, but I haven't checked them out.
It's
Are
pretty
they
cute.
good?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not like anything heavy or anything, but they are fun. It's great to see some of these characters back that I've loved in the past.
It has a shirtless scene with Doggy Kruger, or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I did see that, yeah.
Just
So weird.
holding, what's her name? The pink Tokyuger, just tightly, with the shirt off.
I just really loved seeing Yamato and Captain Marvelous back.
Yamato's in
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm
He's
sold.
he's basically the main character.
I like that
Shit.
Stinger is back too, and he's got a big old pimp jacket.
His jacket is pink as fuck in it.
It's got a feather boa and everything.
That's
Like
fucking
I didn't watch Q Ranger, but like the difference between when I stopped watching and this and his personality shows that he really had a lot of personal growth in that show.
Like the episodes that were centered around Stinger were like the best episodes in Q Ranger.
I remember that was right when I stopped with Q Ranger, was when they started centering around Stinger. It was like the
Yeah.
4th or something episode. 4th or 5th.
I think I stopped around the same time.
The episode where they met, like, I don't think I stopped then. It's like the first episode where they mention his brother.
Scorpio, real
Yeah.
original name Scorpio.
Yeah. At a certain, like, when they first mention him, he hasn't even shown up yet. They just mention him. And I didn't watch anything after that.
Yeah, later on there's some crazy stuff.
It got a lot better, is what I heard from everybody.
It's got some highs and lows.
I've been thinking about rewatching Captain Marvelous' series, which I just forgot the name of. That's
Gokaiger?
Yeah,
Super Megaforce?
Because I really loved Gokaiger. Yeah,
Super Mega Force, yeah.
I really loved Gokaiger the first time around, but maybe I'll just watch Tokyuger instead, since I've never seen
Come
it.
on. Highly recommend.
Yeah, I've only seen the first bit of Tokyuger, and I know it's written by Yasuko Kobayashi, who I really like. So, I'll have to check that out, too.
I'm sure we'll be posting on the Writer Club Radio Twitter that we'll still be using
Yeah.
about what we're watching and stuff. Or, of course, you can just follow our own Twitters. They're linked on the RCR Twitter if you want to hear about it.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to watch Kabuto, because I only gave that like a few episodes
fucking
before.
love
I was like,
Kabuto.
man, I hate this main character. But I guess I should have given it a little bit more time.
Yeah, no, Kabuto's great.
So, are we done talking about these episodes?
I'm fucking done.
I'm
hope
done.
so.
I don't know if you guys are.
I'm done forever talking about.
Truly.
We got one email this month.
Who's it
Oh,
from?
shit.
It is from Jake the Snake.
I knew it.
Suitable
If
closer.
it was going to be anyone.
Jake the Snake, the unofficial fifth Beatle of Writer Club Radio.
The Yoko Ono. Wait, no.
You'll get your severance package of nothing.
Your no prize in the mail.
Yeah.
Jake writes, "Hey RCR, for the last time." He knew.
Did he?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say. What the fuck, man? What did you tell him?
It was so nice to see Shinji and his editor-in-chief back. I'm hoping we get the rest of those tribute episodes. Also, Grease is getting a V-Cinema.
Cool.
He deserves it. I hope we get to see Grease Blizzard in action there. And maybe this time, not have Transforming with it, kill him afterwards.
Yeah.
I just visualized a grease blizzard, and I don't really like it.
Sounds like the last time I visited McDonald's. Am I right, boys?
Blizzards are from Dairy Queen.
Shut the fuck up. I will fuck you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Text me up, dude.
Okay. So he points out Kikai was played by the actor who played Kikaider in the reboot series, and that's very fitting. And also continues the Sentai trend of future writers, since he played one of the major antagonists in Lupin Ranger vs. Patranger.
Oh, did he?
Would the secondary writer for Kikai be Kamen Rider Hakai? I wonder, like Hakaider.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's fun.
It means destroy.
Does it?
Yeah. Something like
damn.
that.
Well, then that'd be cool.
He has some complaints about Geo, like a lot of them.
Really?
Like,
You don't like
dude,
Geo?
word.
Like, this is the longest email he's ever sent us, and it's just mostly complaints about
It.
Holy shit.
what does Jake the Snake have to input as far as his grievances?
Well, this one, even if Decade is still absent, this isn't a complaint.
How
This
disappointing!
is, even if Decade is still absent, I'm glad to see he contributed to the efforts of making things difficult for the heroes. That's not a complaint, Jake.
Stop saying things positive.
only agree with us and say bad things.
I want a Kamen Rider Shinobi. I want Kamen Rider Shinobi as a series to happen even more, because I want to see Rentaro's journey in dealing with the weight of what he did, killing those gangsters when he was another Shinobi. The line he needs to not cross again so that he doesn't sink back to becoming someone who abuses their power, the same kind of people he swore to defend the weak from.
That's,
He is getting his
That
own
would be
spin-off
interesting.
thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he murdered all those gangsters that picked on his
Oh.
friend.
they had it coming. No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
I don't remember that at all.
He's right. And unbeatable, another rider. This might just be me, but I wish they'd stop using lines like these. I mean, we as an audience know that the another rider has to be beaten somehow, but having the characters say that the villain is unbeatable, and then when the unbeatable rider gets destroyed by a crazy power-up that ignores the rules so hard that was just handed to the main character with little effort, that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I agree.
Yep. It's cheap. It's cheap storytelling.
Tamaz already pointed this out on Twitter, but the mirror Geo details are a really nice touch. You're saying good things! Stop it!
Cut that shit out.
Another good thing. Another good thing. Do you like this show, Jake? Okay, he's just saying.
He's come out in the last episode to reveal that he's a traitor.
Oh man, I'm just gonna skip to the questions. Sorry, Jake. We love you. Should be
We love
more
you.
we
negative.
do
love you.
appreciate you always sending in emails.
Yes.
Thank you for emailing all the time.
You should have been more negative. I would have read more. Questions. What are some ways/methods you like when it comes to world building in stories/series/games? How you guys like your world building?
Oh god. I'm gonna be that plebeian and say I really like the way Dark Souls does it, which is
I was going to mention that.
you find out exactly as much as you want to
Oh.
by how much you read, and the moment you get tired of it, you can just ignore it and keep playing. But when you really want to, you can dig really deep into it just by looking
Yeah.
around.
I was going to bring up something similar
You can say
as
Bastion.
well. Also, yeah, like in Bastion, I was mostly thinking about, because I'm working on a little personal project at the moment. Metroid Prime, you have the
I
scan
fucking love
visor.
Metroid Prime.
Oh yeah.
So you can just delve into all the stuff that's around you, all the superfluous details about, like, oh well, this pod was launched down to Talon 4 that was holding this batch of Phazon, and this pod was carrying this person, and the science team was researching this thing, and then they had to kill it because it went out of control. And
Oh.
you can just ignore all of it.
All the space pirate logs about how they tried to
Love the space pirate
They tried
logs.
to recreate the morph ball.
Yeah, that's
but,
my
like,
favorite one.
Yeah, they crushed a whole bunch of the science team because they didn't. Because
I like the one-
Simus's
I know
morph
those-
balls apparently turns her into energy.
Yeah, I know there's one where it's like, hey, don't keep Metroids as pets in your room.
Oh, I
it's a
love
really
that
stupid
one.
idea.
It's like we've already lost 4 crewmen because of this.
Yeah.
And you can ignore all of it because it's not relevant.
Yeah.
You can look for all the plot relevant like scan details are in red, or the things that will unlock like lore in your notebook or whatever it is.
Yeah, the logbook.
All the logbook entries
Oh,
that
yeah.
you actually need to find for like completion.
I think
Everything else is orange and you can just ignore it.
I think I agree with Tamaz that my favorite type of world building is probably in Metroid Prime, where in Dark Souls everything is like, I love the world building in Dark Souls, but everything is purposefully esoteric. You're not supposed to understand it.
Yeah.
Like you can get like little pieces of stories, but you have to like put it together with your like fan fiction.
Or you get shit
Yeah.
like Bloodborne where there is no fucking real answer to some of the things.
Yeah,
Or-
exactly.
Or you get shit like BioShock, where sure you get supplemental information, but it's read to you while you're playing the game, and you're like halfway having to listen to it, and then halfway having to play the game, or you have to go find a quiet corner to stand in so you can listen to the log and then continue playing
the
the game.
log.
Or you could watch pretentious YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you can watch someone explain the game to you for 30
By the
minutes.
by, if anybody listening to this knows what pale blood is, drop a comment in the comments section.
No one
what
knows
pale
what
blood
pale
is.
blood is. It's mentioned twice in the entire fucking
Yeah.
game. Seek pale blood and behold a pale
Behold
blood
a
moon.
pale blood sky, yeah. Makes
that's
no
it.
fucking sense.
Whatever.
It's like the central thing that you came for, and nobody knows what it is.
yeah, seek pale blood, and then you have to forget about that real quick
Fuck
because you're
that.
never gonna know.
Actually, just kill a bunch of demons and then leave.
Become an old
Become a
one.
squid.
The end. I love Bloodborne, but it's really like
I adore Bloodborne, but yeah, it's very.
the
esoteric.
story is very esoteric. Like Metroid Prime is like all of the world's information is available to you if you want it.
Yeah.
And I love that. And it's very straightforward. Like, this is where this pod went. Like, this is what this type of monster does. This is the experiment we were doing. It's all, like, really well done. Or you could be like one of my favorite novels, The Lord of the Rings, and just explain the world.
Yeah,
Just for
in
chapters.
incredible detail.
Chapters and chapters and chapters at a time. Just explain the whole world.
I guess, yeah, if you, I think BioWare games do that, where you just have the codex, where you can just dive in and just read the shit, and it's just written out
I
for
really
you.
liked the Codex in Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, I dig the codex.
And in Mass Effect 2, for that matter. I didn't play 3 because I knew 3 was just going to circle the drain, but
I do like the like Elder Scrolls approach to it as well, where there's just books on shelves that you
I
can just
love the
read if you
books.
want.
did you guys watch that Brian David Gilbert video on all the books in Skyrim?
Yeah, I did see that one.
Don't know who that is.
He's
Oh, man.
a polygon thing, so I don't really blame you.
Oh.
What about the world building in like Metal Gear Solid, where everyone just tells you everything, and then Snake goes,
You can-
"Muff,
You can call
second
Nas-
floor basement."
you can call Nastasha while you're holding a gun, and she can tell you about the history of like war in Kyrgyzstan or something.
In Made-Up-a-Stan. I've never been more frustrated playing a game. That's not true. I was pretty frustrated, though, playing Metal Gear Solid 4, where, like, you watch a cutscene and a character's like, let me explain to you the true intentions of this cloning the Snake project. And it's like a slideshow of shit.
Yeah,
And then you get out of the cutscene, you're like, thank God I'm out. And you walk through a door and down a flight of stairs, and then another cutscene starts where another slideshow happens.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
explain.
Well, that's
you're like,
like-
fucking hell,
That just
man.
sounds like Chapter 3.
that's my
Yeah.
problem with Metal Gear Solid 2 as well. Maybe all Metal Gear has this as a problem, but I felt it more keenly in 4 and 2.
2
where,
and 4
like,
are really long.
You're in like a cutscene, and you get out of the cutscene, and it takes forever to get out of it, and then someone fucking calls you immediately to explain the previous cutscene to you in detail.
Right, and let's talk about the cutscene you just went through.
You may not have understood the more nuanced story we were trying to tell through that cutscene, so let me explain it to you.
Colonel, what just happened?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You were
But they-
there, Snake. You saw it.
Well, much like the bio on Hideo Kojima's Twitter, Metal Gear Solid is 70% of Metal Gear Solid is movies.
It's true.
Yeah, it's a lot of...
Kojima wants to be a movie director real bad.
Yeah.
He just wants to put babies in people.
It's true. He wants to put his ultimate goal is to put a baby in Guillermo del Toro. That's all he's ever wanted.
Some way or another.
And then he wants the surrogate parents to be
Mads Mikkelsen and Daryl from The
Norman
Walking
Reedus,
Dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Norman Reedus.
Thank you for remembering the names as I flounder.
Norman Reedus is a fun name.
It is.
Norman, I love the fake name that people came up with for the game, Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
What about like in like TV shows and stuff, or in movies, or like in books? How do you like the world building to be so? I like it to be naturally, like slowly spooned out as you learn more about the characters and everything, and not like big info dumps every so often.
Weirdly,
I have never read the Lord of the Rings books, but I don't feel like I would enjoy
I love
reading
them.
through an entire chapter where it's just describing this very intricate thing.
Well, they do a pretty good job in the movies, just explaining things like gently to you.
Yeah.
They're not just like, oh, by the way, here's a whole
all the
essay
info.
about the mines of Moria.
I do love the Lord of the Rings book, but like every time I sit down to read it, I'm like, oh man, I gotta get through the first few chapters again. Maybe I should skip them.
Strangely enough, talking about movies at least, RoboCop has really great world building in that it shows
does.
you. It does a good job of giving you little snippets of information that tell you a lot about the world, like that stupid fucking Bixby Snyder show.
I'd buy that for
Where you're
a
like, oh, like that's
dollar.
the state of entertainment in this world where it's just
Yeah.
that dumb, and it like tells you about the world with like just a little piece of information that's very like well meted out.
It's just like dropped in, like the news stories that happen throughout the
Yeah.
movie are like they're so telling of the state of the world that we're in that like the news anchors are like, another 453,000 people died today.
Yeah.
Due to a cyanide leak from the Capitol building. No investigation is to follow.
Like they don't throw it in your face. It's just like these little pieces of information that tell you about how things are.
And if you're not paying attention, you won't notice.
Yeah.
It just feels it's diegetic.
It's part of
just
the
wanna
world.
It's not explanatory.
I just want to watch RoboCop shoot someone in the dick.
The best cut of the movie is the one where somebody put in that like fan movie cut of RoboCop shooting a million guys' dicks off.
I don't read too many books, but there's a book series that I started following primarily because Elias Tofexis was in a TV show that was on Sci-Fi until it got canceled and then brought back on Amazon. I only started watching it because Elias Tofexis was in it, who is the voice actor for, as I just blank on all the names possible.
Mads Mikkelsen?
From Deus Ex: Human Revolution and Mankind Divided.
Adam Jensen.
Adam Jensen.
Thank you. He does the voice for Adam Jensen, so I'm a big fan of him. And I started watching this TV show and then reading these books, The Expanse, and I've read all the books that have come out so far. There's 7 of them. The 8th book I have pre-ordered and it's supposed to come out in a couple weeks. And I really love the way that the writers for the show and for the books do the world building there. All the character development is very slow. In some cases, the character development for one of the characters it's very subtle, but only revealed in one character's case, Amos Burton, in a short story called The Churn. You don't really need a lot of the information. You can overlook a lot of it. You can infer a lot of information just based on the amount of characters that are in these stories. It starts out rather shallow, or I wouldn't say shallow, but rather slim. But there's a point where I think it was book 6, there were like it does the George R.R. Martin style of like perspective characters.
Oh, I was going to say killing everybody.
Showing titties.
Of perspective characters, where in the 6th book I think there were 15 or 16 different perspective characters, whereas in the 5th book there were just the 4 main characters. don't know how best to describe the books, but I'll just say that I really like the world building in those stories if you're at all familiar with them.
You know what has good world building?
What's that?
Star Trek.
Oh.
Star Trek.
Star Trek has great world building because it's all completely contained in people's normal ass conversations and dialogue that you would have in those type of situations. There are rarely any like giant info dumps of information. It's all like shown to you, or it's all like communicated to you just like secondhand through people's dialogue and actions.
I just want to know what the Cardassian neck trick is.
You'll never know. So yeah, that's probably the best way in like film and books and stuff, is to just don't worry about explaining your world to people. Have it come out naturally in the story you're telling.
Yeah.
Story comes first, world building comes second.
Well, one thing I hated in like One Piece is when some nobody off screen just like yells what something is.
Oh yeah. That's like shown in anime in general.
Wow.
People are always yelling something like, "Oh my god, he's using the forbidden technique that was
it's-
created by the ancients in the year."
It's 8th
And
General
then they
Yamato
pan away
of
for
something
a solid
something.
minute and show something in sepia tones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Gold Roger again.
Those are bad examples.
Let's move on to question 2.
Sure.
There's only so much power to be distributed among writers in a series, particularly regarding forms, with the main writer having priority. Though for series moving forward, do you think there always has to be that much of a power gap between the primary and the others, or do you think that's something that can be changed with better writing and effort?
There can always be
Well, for a
something
while,
changed
Banjo was
for-
stronger
with
than Sento.
more effort.
Max is 100% correct. Tamaz is also right that he pointed out that Banjo was stronger than Sento for a little while, which is very much not the norm, and also that show had better writing, so Max, again, is right.
Yes.
It's... I don't know. It's frustrating when... Yeah, exactly, where it's just like, oh, he's got the ultimate superpower, I guess he's unbeatable, and everyone else doesn't matter anymore, just because they...
He has protagonist power and no one else has an upgrade,
Right.
so... Which is what happened with Gaim.
That's what happened with Drive as well.
Mm-hmm.
Drive got like 1 billion forms, and they just kept giving Go his like... Mock,
Dead
his like
heat.
second forms he wasn't using anymore. Here you go.
Yeah.
Heat. Yeah.
Mock got done dirty in Drive. It's unfortunate.
Mock really started out as my favorite character, and then suddenly he was not my favorite character anymore.
Yeah.
They really didn't know what to do with that guy.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I think I would personally prefer there to be less forms and more of a focus on characters.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
but I don't.
But you
foresee
can't sell
that.
a character, Jeff.
No, you can't.
You can't. Yeah, you can't sell a character on the Toys R Us line.
On the CS Toys line.
Yeah, that's it.
The thing I was thinking about when we were watching the future riders fight is, man, how fucking great would it be if a rider just had like one form, and like you got to see them like actually go through some shit and struggle instead of just getting a new form to solve all their problems.
And like learn how to beat an enemy with a trick.
Yeah. Or they just discover more things about themselves.
Although we saw that in these recent episodes where they're like, we need a trick to beat the enemy. I'll hit him really hard.
Yeah,
Like
and
the
then,
hardest.
and then it turns out that the way to beat him is another form that lets you hit even harder than
It's not
hard.
It's not even like the form has a special, unique power. It's just he just hits him so hard that it hurts really bad.
His unique power is cheating.
Yeah.
Like, he can rewind time and see the future. He should be completely unbeatable, but yet he's like a dumb fuck, so here we are.
Yep,
so-
just go.
The only reason he's not Omagio yet is because he's too stupid.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
He's trying.
What were you gonna say, Jeff?
Oh, I was just gonna say that, like, I can't believe that, like, Kamen Rider has become so bogged down with the ideas related to toys and forms and new figures and stuff that we're actually at a season where the entire main cast have no personalities, no impetus, no reason to be.
It's capitalism for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the
just
reason is to sell.
frustrating, right? Like, Build seemed like we were getting better. It was all character driven for the most part.
Build was a fucking breath of fresh air.
Oh, well.
Well, I guess that shows why like Amazon's was successful. It's because it was more character driven and less. Oh, here's some new metal plates for.
Although
for
they
some
did
guy
do
to
that.
put on. Oh
They
wait,
they did do that in the second season.
Oh, I'm
shit.
gonna use my time rewind power to reword that. Hang on. Yeah, it's a good thing they didn't like give him like a magic syringe or something where he gets a new power or something.
A magic syringe.
What?
Let's skip on over to question 3.
Okay.
No, not
We're not
another
talking
episode.
about episodes. Question 3. What are the settings to a henshin scene that really enhance the moment for you guys, like transforming in the rain or etc.?
Oh man, that silent transformation in Build.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was
beautiful.
a great one.
A narrator that tells you how fast the transformation is.
Oh, you stole it! You stole it!
Yoink.
Space Sheriff Gavon's transformation takes 0.003 seconds to complete. Let's watch that again.
Oh god.
Chuck.
I think
Chuck.
like the sort of setup that gets me hyped for any Heisei action scene is really, I wouldn't say there's any one. It's just about context, and there's got to be like important stakes and character motivations at play. That's all it takes. Anything else can be done. As long as I give a shit about the characters fighting and why they're fighting and the outcome matters, that's the important shit.
That's true.
Yeah.
If I can't choose Gavon, since Max cleverly took it,
Sorry.
I'm gonna choose when the fucking Henshin theme kicks in like a jam breaking down a damn wall, like Kamen Rider Black, where it's like dun dun.
Oh god. What a great fucking song he's got.
Every time that happens, I'm just instantly like, oh yeah.
Or
Yeah,
Decade's got a really good Henshin theme too. I like his.
That's true. He does have a good Henshin theme.
a lot
like,
of early Heisei.
You know who doesn't have a good Henshin theme? Deno.
I haven't heard his.
I don't remember it. It's been too long.
Oh
Oh, yeah. Mind
Oh,
the Gap,
yeah, that-
the
yeah.
song. Yeah, it's all like belt jingles now, which are like okay, but they're like 5-second long middies.
Yeah.
Right.
For real though, Waz's belt jingle is a jam.
Yeah, I like it.
It's okay.
It slaps.
Ironically, the last belt jingle that I really thought was a jam was Kamen Rider Spectres.
I don't even remember that one.
It was the one that was like Bat Chitty Mino. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, that kind of hip hoppy sounding. Yeah.
I used to love that one. It's the only thing
It was a
I liked in the show.
it was a short jam, but
it was a
Build
bop.
Hazard.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Build
I love
Hazard.
Build Hazard. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do transformation themes anymore because everybody has a song that comes out of their belt, plays for 5 seconds.
Yeah, the dang Gashats with their overlaying, like, yelling, that
Oh,
got
yeah.
on my nerves after a while.
Like, I put my headphones on during one of the episodes of Geo where, like, 3 characters transformed at once,
It's a mess.
and I had to take my headphones off and set them down until they were done because I didn't even have the sound up, and it felt like my eardrums were gonna rupture.
20 layers of audio.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck am I listening to? It's a goddamn cacophony. I don't want to hear this.
It's just it might as well just be like you're listening and they're transforming. You just hear ah, because like all the belts and the voices and the
Yeah.
It's just
You'd
the
think they
ambient
would just-
chatter of a restaurant.
You think they would just play like one of them, right? And be like, oh, well, you can't hear the others. Whatever one is the most important in the scene is the one you hear. But no, they just fucking play all of them, overlapped.
Or they transform, like, intermittently, so they all have a little moment. Or you shorten the transformation noise so you only hear a bit of it at a time.
It's true. Transformation noises have got long as fuck. But I hate Woes' belt. I fucking hate it. Because
don't
it
like the
just
Beyond
screams
Driver?
the name of
Yeah.
every transformation 8 times.
It's got a screechy.
Kamen Rider was.
Yeah, and then it transforms and it's like, Shinobi!
Yeah. It's got like a shrill voice.
It makes me remember that
Future time!
that one X-Aid special where they had all those dead riders, and another Agito was like standing amongst the other riders with their crazy ass
yeah.
jingles, and he just goes swing.
Yeah,
And
he
that's
just
it.
like it crosses his arms in front of his belt and goes, and then crosses them in front of his chest and transforms. I missed that. Mm-hmm. Also,
You remember from Heisei versus Showa when they were all standing next to each other to transform, and Koda was like flipping his fucking lock seat around in the air and like
Yeah.
jamming it in the sky and then jamming it down.
yeah, he was like throwing his arms around like a kid having a fit. The setting that really enhances a moment for me, besides the song that plays, is a burning church.
I was gonna say, if it's not gonna be like something you can use too many times, I was gonna get to this when we had a moment, but yeah, the transformation scene in the 3rd or 4th episode of Kuga, I think it's the 4th one, where he transforms in the burning church right after his bike explodes.
Kuga's so quaint compared to Rider series
really
that came
is.
afterwards. It's just
It's like vanilla ice cream. Like, you can't hate it. It goes with everything.
it's like vanilla ice cream after you've had like Tutti Frutti Rocky Road Surprise with sprinkles. Fucking, you get a tummy ache with one bite.
Couple dead bugs in there.
Yeah, and then you just have that bite of vanilla, and you're like, wow, I forgot how great vanilla ice cream is.
Simple, rustic.
Simple design.
Simple design.
Lies
just
just fine. Thanks, Doug's dad. So Jake the Snake finishes out his email by saying, "Thank you and looking forward to the next episode as always, Jake the Snake."
Well, sorry.
Sorry, Jake.
It might
Sorry,
be a long
Jake.
wait.
Whoops.
And does anybody have anything to add here at the end before I go through the normal end spiel?
Oh, just thanks everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to us gripe about this show, even though you probably got the point after the first episode.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
beating
just-
that dead horse.
That's one of the reasons why we're stepping away, is that every episode of our show has become the same episode at this point.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll come back down the road when we have something new to say about something.
Also, for anyone who's been listening since the very, very beginning, episode 1 of the weekly episodes, your prize is in the mail. Just expect that within 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8
What do I get for
decades.
being the dead guy?
You got your life back, motherfucker.
What else do you want from us?
We had to sacrifice like 400 cats.
I'd like stock options.
Well, the company is going under today, so I think we can work that out
Yeah.
for you.
Might want to
Oh,
unload all your stocks in Rider Club Radio, actually.
It's true.
Get that shit out.
But for real, thank you to everybody who listened, everybody who enjoyed, all the people who joined our Discord and had a good time talking in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still gonna be there, right?
Yeah, we're not
nothing's-
getting rid of anything. So.
Nothing's going away except for the actual audio of the show.
The monthly uploads.
Yeah.
Nothing's going away
The
except for the
podcast
really
part of
important
our
thing.
podcast.
Yeah, we're not paying to keep this shit on Libsyn. Like, if you want to listen to it, just go to YouTube.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yep. I want my money. I'm
I
not.
want my money now. Give me my money.
I could think of better ways to spend $15 a month,
I want all that money back.
It's
like on porn.
yeah. You can get
just
so
kidding.
much internet porn for $15.
Who pays for porn?
I go to
true.
great lengths to not pay for my porn, thank you.
like we're very appreciative of everybody who enjoyed this show.
Yeah.
Like, beyond words, thank you.
Yeah.
Really, it's been a blast.
This is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of another one. I guess it won't be recorded, so you guys won't know.
No longer Writer Club Radio, only Writer Club.
Oh,
We're
deep.
As always, you can follow the Twitter if you'd still like to at Writer Club Radio. The email will, of course, not be read anymore.
Yeah, don't
so
send
it
us
doesn't
any
really
emails.
matter.
It's worthless. Just follow us
You
on
can
Twitter.
send us DMs on Twitter.
Send us DMs on
true.
Twitter at Writer Club Radio.
It's true. You can follow us. Like, everybody tell what your Twitter handle is in case people don't follow RCR just yet.
I am at Liam Jervis.
I'm at Max Hollis, but I haven't been on lately, so we'll see how that goes.
I'm the only one that doesn't use my real name. I'm at Masked Tie.
And I am at _ Jeff Pennington. Fuck you to the special education teacher and political activist, all around great guy at Jeff Pennington. He stole it from me.
I forgot
but I
that
am
was
at-
taken
Get a
from
better
you.
name. I don't know what to say.
He actually had it before me. Like, he had it before I even joined Twitter, as it turns out. So,
Damn, he was on
good
top
on
of
him.
it.
But I am at _ Jeff Pennington.
The superior Jeff Pennington, yeah.
He's probably better than me. But,
How many podcasts has he been on?
I don't know. He is a political activist. He's a union leader, as a matter of fact, as well.
wow.
He is a
Shit.
much better dude than me.
That's a tough nut, yeah.
But,
But does he talk about Star Trek?
probably. Every smart person does.
He's got all the angles covered.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
This has been Writer Club Radio, and we'll see you again someday, somewhere.
Yeah, we're signing off. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 俺の兄弟1号ライダー
俺の兄弟ライダー2号
俺は7号仮面ライダーストロンガー1号本号2号はハヤト赤い目玉が強いんだライダーキックは鉄砕くいつか一緒に戦おう4, 5, 6, 7俺の兄弟 V3 ライダー
俺の兄弟ライダーマン
俺は7号仮面ライダーストロンガー3号風見4号勇気 V3 キックはいわくだきカセットアームで悪を切るいつか一緒に戦おう1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7俺の兄弟 X ライダー
俺の兄弟アマゾンライダー
俺は7号仮面ライダーストロンガー5号はケイスケ6号アマゾン クスキックは山崩し大切断で真っ二ついつか一緒に